Very nice, thank you. It's always nice to have people talk about poop when they introduce you. I will say this, though. I was sitting there listening to the presentation a couple before, and when the question was asked about how do you get followers, and the answer was, be awesome, I thought, yes, got that one covered. So anyway, I've been, if you've been following a couple things on the news today, I have to comment on them before I jump into the meat of my presentation. On the radio on the way to work today, I heard about someone with the Secret Service getting in trouble for tweeting. I don't know if people heard that, and it made me laugh because I thought, whose idea was that? I work for the Secret Service. I think a Twitter account would be really good for me to have. So somewhere along the line there was some mistakes there. And then the CDC, there's a story about the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention today, where they put out a blog trying to get people to pay attention to emergency preparedness by talking about their preparedness for the zombie apocalypse. And it's getting quite a bit of attention. And then this morning, for those of you who were here, there were some reporters, and at least one of them talked about the fact that they get a lot of their news from reading tweets, and then they put that on the air. And all I could think about when I put all of those three things together was, there's this report or this prediction that Saturday is the end of time. And I haven't believed that until today. Now I'm pretty sure that maybe they're right about that. Well, I'm here to talk about a program or a campaign we called Wash-Your-Handsington. And there are several elements to it, but it's the first campaign that we've really done that focused on social media as one of the primary ways to put it out. I'm glad to hear a couple of people this afternoon talk about content and the importance of content, because I must confess to you folks, it's cathartic for me, is social media makes me nervous. It makes me nervous because I'm a firm believer that social media is a wonderful tool. Facebook is a great tool. Twitter is a great tool. YouTube is a great tool to get information out. But you have to know what your message is that you're putting out. I'm the communications director for the Washington State Department of Health, and often people come to me, we have social media guidelines, and they come to me and say, I need a Facebook page. And being a sharp guy, my first question back to them is, why do you think you need a Facebook page? Anybody want to guess what the primary reason people say they need a Facebook page for? All the kids are doing it, all the youngins are using Facebook, so that's where we need to be. And I say, well, what are you going to communicate about through Facebook? And most of them, then I get this kind of blank look back at me, and they don't really think about what they want to communicate. It's just all the young people are doing it, and that's where we need to be. I don't disagree with that as being a part of a good reason, but it's not a good reason on its own. Content is so important. We decided to do a campaign to get people interested in the basics of flu prevention. Wash your hands, cover your cough, get a flu shot. We did focus groups early on, and it was clear that people did not want to see, hi, I'm Dr. Schmo, and I'm wearing a white coat, and I'm telling you to get a flu shot or you'll die. They'd seen that, they were bored of that, they'd heard that, and they weren't buying it. So we tested some interesting, fun concepts to see what would happen. And our Wash-Your-Handsington campaign far and away beat out the other concept as something people said they would stop and remember. So we created a couple of radio commercials, we created some posters and other things, and we had a little bit of money left. Not enough money to do a television campaign, but enough money to put together a video. So over a weekend, we worked with a PR communications office and did it fully on the cheap. And our goal was to do something that people would not only think was fun and interesting, but maybe on Facebook or Twitter or other places, they would think it was so goofy and fun that they would tell their friends about it, and then their friends would tell other friends about it, and people would actually, it would catch fire. So we unveiled this video in mid-December of last year, and we were really pleased with the results. So I'd like to run the video if we could now. Come on.
We love soap so much we scrub for fun. We are Wash-Your-Handsington. Yes, we are Wash-Your-Handsington.
Visit Wash-Your-Handsington, where people wash their hands, cover their cough, and get the flu vaccine.
This is the state of the evergreen and impeccable hygiene. We love it when our hands are clean.
Wash-Your-Handsingtonians are always friendly and germ-free. They love to give high fivers, not high fevers.
We cover our coughs, every single one. We are Wash-Your-Handsington. Yes, we are Wash-Your-Handsington. Wash-Your-Handsington.
Get vaccinated. Stop the flu. Brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health.
Yeah, thank you. A little secret between just us and whoever happens to be watching on streaming is the company we work with is actually in Washington, D.C., and the initial version, and a lot of those shots are from Washington, D.C., but we threw in a couple of shots of the Space Needle and a few things because we wanted it to look like home. The response has been crazy. We've had almost 50,000 viewings on YouTube. When I checked our state YouTube site, it was really interesting to me because the state videos that agencies put out, government agencies, 100, 200, if their mom and dad click on it a lot, maybe they reach 1,000. We put this out in mid-December. About a week into it, we'd hit a couple thousand viewers and we were feeling pretty good about it. But then something interesting happened. Some of the media, some liked it and some didn't, but they talked about it a lot. A talk show host in Seattle spent a whole day singing our song and making fun of how stupid it was and what a waste of government money. Probably 10 or 15,000 people came through his site to watch our video. The George Lopez show, that's a national talk show, he did a parody of it called Wash-Your-Hangeless, where it had people getting stabbed in Los Angeles and then washing their hands afterwards, you know, and it just took off. We were just greatly pleased with it, and we just finished some research that showed somewhere in the neighborhood of 70% of the people we asked liked it, got the message, knew it was about washing your hands, covering your cough, and getting the vaccine. So, but before I wrap up on that real quickly, one of my messages when you do something like this, have a thick skin. And I'm going to give you a couple examples of why that's true. Here are some emails I received from people. I'm just going to read the good parts, so bear with me. The first one, I've never emailed anyone about an ad until now. Wash-Your-Handsington rocks. So I was like, yeah, that's a good one. But then the not so good ones. I've been appalled and disgusted by your campaign. The jingle is the most stupid and annoying thing I've ever heard. Here's one. This is the dumbest waste of tax dollars. What idiots did I have to pay to come up with this? And then this is one that they went to the tried and true. How do you sleep at night? Cut the crap out. And then my last one was a dentist's office that said, you know, we love it. Actually, our patients sing it in the office, and we walk around singing it all day long. So, you know, an example of, you know, take some risks, try something different, get your messages out there, and then hope for the best. I'd love to play the radio spot and then I'm going to wrap up because my time is almost done. Can you give me the radio spot before I finish? As he's trying to do that, maybe that's not going to happen. The radio spot was a partnership we did with a gentleman who owns a number of different stations. And he had a good contact with folks who do gospel music. And the gospel, we actually hired a gospel choir and produced a radio spot that the radio station was getting requests for it. They said it's one of the only commercials they've ever done that they've received requests for over the phone. So anyway, we were very pleased with that. Does it look like the radio spot's going to happen? Folks in back? Okay, either the radio spot's going to happen or the get off the stage music's going to happen. Yeah, well, anyway, well, if they get it, they can play it during a break. Thank you very much. Have a good day.